We're going to do part 2 of kitchen safety. When we do cooking, whether we're in someone else's kitchen, in a professional kitchen, or just at home, you should always make sure that you wear clean clothes or an apron. Make sure your hands are washed properly. Always tie your hair back. Avoid jewelry. And do not cook if you are feeling unwell. Just in general, just don't cook if you don't feel well, because the germs can go on the food. How we had COVID, we used to have to wear a mask. When people talk, it tends to go on the food, and that's how people could get sick. Bacteria can double every 20 minutes. So don't leave food out for more than 2 hours. The danger zone is 40. 39 is in the refrigerator, which is what your fridge should be, but between 40 and 140, that's when things start getting dangerous and you can get really sick. So keep that in mind. Keep your fridge at 39, as I mentioned, and keep your freezer at 0. Cooling and reheating. Cooking meats to safe temperature. I did buy a thermometer. When you're testing your meats and keeping them safe, if you have a thermometer, this is really good, especially if you have a thick piece of meat and you're unsure if it's cooked properly. You're just going to put this thermometer in the fattest part of the meat, whether it be chicken, which is 165, whether it be lamb or beef or even fish at 145. So that will go directly in and it will reach 165. These are really cheap on Amazon. You're going to pay about $6 or $7. Really handy to have, especially like if you're outside and you want to make sure that your food is cooked properly on a barbecue or something. Just pop it in. You don't want to make anyone sick. As far as thawing food, the best way to thaw food is in the refrigerator. The second is under cool running water. If you microwave it, you should cook immediately. Never thaw meat out on a countertop. Or when you're heating up food, make sure you stir to avoid cold spots in your food. Don't partially cook food, like meat especially, and then think, oh, I'll just finish it off later. It's actually very dangerous. Knife safety. Keep blades sharp and the handles in good condition. It's really important to have a very sharp knife opposed to a blunt knife. When you're cutting something, when you have a blunt knife, you have to saw and it makes it like unsafe. Make sure you have a good knife when you're cutting, and it makes cooking so much more pleasurable. Also, when you're handling the knife, be very careful. I mishandled my knife last summer and it slipped down and it cut my ankle and it was really painful. So just please make sure you hold your knife well close to the board. Don't try and be loose with your knife. Clean knives immediately after use. Store knives safely in a block or a rack. I have all my knives in one drawer. I don't put sharp knives with my other cutlery, and like I said, never try to catch a falling knife. So next tip is fire safety in the kitchen. Never leave your pots and pans with the handles out. If someone's walking along or doesn't see it, it could tip. And also when you're frying or grilling or broiling in the kitchen, always stay present in the kitchen. Don't walk away from it. Keep anything that can catch fire, a paper towel or something like that. Don't keep anything that can be flammable over. Wear short or tight-fitting sleeves when you're cooking. Always keep a lid nearby to smother small grease fires. Never use water on a grease fire. Cooking fires cause around 172,000 home fires each year. These fires result in like thousands of injuries and lots of money and property damage. Today we're making Japanese. I'm doing tofu, but I'm going to air fry my tofu. You can pan fry it. I like to air fry it. I like it much better. But before you do, you should always weigh down your tofu. I've got a couple of cans to keep it heavy.
There's really fancy like tofu presses, but you don't need them. You just put something heavy on your tofu. Yeah.
This is really heavy, and then on top of it, I just got an old pan, and then there's my tofu. It took all the moisture out. So I'm going to move that out of the way, cut up my tofu. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil on. Tofu generally cooks for about 14 minutes. Therefore, I change it halfway through. I'm going to make the blocks as simple as possible. So we're just going to do squares. I'm going to cut that in half. Let the knife do the work for you, as you see. The floor.
Is that extra firm, Sam, or firm?
Yes, this is extra firm tofu.
Extra firm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Take it. Remember your claw when you keep your fingers inside. Kitchen safety rule. Right, then we're going to put in the air fryer. I have my air fryer here. I put a little thing.
And so about 14 minutes, you said, for that?
Yeah, and 7 on each side. Make sure you turn it halfway. Don't stack it because you want it nice and crispy. I like my tofu a little crispy. I don't know how
Yeah,
you
me
like
too.
it. Yeah, I feel like it's a lot different. I enjoy it more when it's crispy. So then we're going to just give it a quick spray, little avocado oil spray. Put it in there and then we'll turn it in a sec. All right, so what we got going on here is we have some veggies here. I actually got some oyster mushrooms. You have to soak these. These are like for 20 minutes. Got them dry. You have to rehydrate. I actually sauteed these for a second after because they said it gives it like a better taste. So I sauteed them for a second. Also, I sauteed my peppers for a second. Every other vegetable I'm going to put directly into the broth. I have cabbage here. I have carrots. I have purple carrots, white carrots.
Oh,
Didn't
nice.
have any orange carrots, so we got purple and that carrots.
It's variety. Color.
And then we got spinach that goes right at the very end. In the meantime, I'm going to put my noodles in. I have a pot of boiling water. I bought these ramen noodles for the top. We're going to pop them in hot boiling water. 2 to 3 minutes. They're very quick. So I'm going to pop one in there and leave it to do its thing. So pretend I sauteed these. I already did it, but pretend I sauteed these. So I'm going to put these in the broth. Okay, let them go in the broth and soak them. Also my peppers. So we have lots of colors. So we got this on a very low heat. Our cabbage. Probably won't put all of this in because we probably won't need it all. This is Napa cabbage. Then we're going to put our carrots in. The carrots are raw because they're very thin. I didn't have to saute them. So I have the raw carrots. So I'm going to let that go for a couple of seconds. And right at the very end, I am going to put the spinach in. But I want to keep it vibrant. The heat's going to be off. It'll wilt on its own. And also the tofu will go right in the end. Then we're going to make our sauce for our ramen noodle. I have miso here. I'm going to do 2.5 of miso. And we're going to do the same for the soy. It says between 2 and 3, so I thought, you know what? It says between 2 and 3, so I'll do 2.5.
That's what I usually do. I do that, split it right in the middle.
Then we're going to do a couple of cloves of garlic, which my garlic is already sliced up. All right, so we're going to mix it. And then we're going to do some ginger. We'll do a little knob of ginger, but we have to grate that in. So I'm just grating my ginger. So that's your miso sauce. They tell you not to put it in the broth because it takes away the flavor. So you just put it directly in the bowl of the noodle, like a couple of teaspoons.
You start with that. That makes sense.
Mix them up. And then this is not quite done yet. First, add the tofu and the spinach, and then you're going to put that broth over there. I'm going to show you my end result. This is my ramen bowl. I'm so proud of this. I think the colors are beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
If you're vegetarian, don't use the egg. I probably wouldn't use the egg because I think like it just looks so good without it. I want it to be very traditional. This is very traditional, popular. Also, I have some green onions for the top. You can put hot chili sauce and some sesame seeds if you choose to. And also, the water of the week is orange and sparkling water today.